another episode of Hot Tea, episode 4. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Morgan Ruff. I'll be putting her Instagram somewhere right here. So she's not like everybody else that I interviewed in the past. She went to Central Catholic. Boo! No one likes the Rams. It's all about Eagles.
So it's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. No, you guys still.
Catholic. No, Jason hates Catholics.
No. God, it's gonna be a really weird interview. But so yeah, she just graduated from high school, and now she's going to what school again?
Seattle University.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
What are you gonna be majoring?
English and minoring in social studies on a pre-law track.
What's like the dream job after that?
Dream job, criminal defense lawyer for kids.
What are they? Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I'm probably not gonna start out with kids. I'm probably gonna start with the awful people. But hit me up if you need a lawyer.
Okay, I can see it being like that. Okay. Now a lot of people know how a lot of my fans, I guess, or subscribers, they know how like Centennial is, but how's Central Catholic? Apparently, because when we were talking earlier, apparently I wouldn't fit in because I'm too nice.
No tea, no shade, but full offense. Central Catholic cultivates both the best and the worst kinds of people. Yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely that grew up with a kitchen island kind of people there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Who be like, if during the 4th of July, like, oh, was that a gunshot? Like, obviously, Lindsay, no, it was not a gunshot. I'm so sorry. But other than that, like, you get really genuine people there, but you have to. They're only genuine for the last month of high school, your senior year. The rest of high school, you're like, I don't like this person. I don't like how they're treating me. I don't like how I'm treating them. But hey, fuck it. It's high school.
Yeah, that is true. Is it true that like, for being a Catholic school, is it true that like you guys are kind of known for like a lot of like drug deals? Or do you consider like a druggy school in general?
Yeah, we're definitely a druggy school, but that's just because a lot of people who would have gone to Grant High School go to Central Catholic High School, and Grant is definitely known for being a druggy high school. But yeah, there's a fair amount of drug deals and drug users, but we are the worst party throwers in all of Portland high schools.
True.
We are
Very
the
true.
worst.
For being a private school though, your guys' like school is kind of like old, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember like my freshman year when we went there, and like even my sophomore year when we went there for like basketball games, like we were kind of like expecting like a way nicer school. I was expecting a way nicer school. I was
Yeah.
expecting like wow, like top tier, but no, like you guys still had like it was just a really
The old gym.
it's like really rusty.
It's was it the one closest to the doors when you came in, or was it down the hallway?
Closer to the doors.
Yeah, that's our old gym. That was built in like the 50s or 60s.
Not
But
surprised.
the new gym is 20 years old. But yeah.
Even then, I expected like a jumbotron,
Jumbotron.
and then like a legit like arena.
Yeah.
That's what I expected.
Okay.
Like you ever been to like Westland? Or,
Yeah.
Like their gym is nice. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a dream. And like it
It's a
sucks to like you guys don't even have like a field. So you
We
have to.
don't.
Where do you have to go? Hillsborough, right?
Hillsborough, yes. We don't have a field because we can't have lights and we can't have a stadium because of the neighborhood that we're in. They say no.
Yeah.
Also, we have to build out, and we don't have enough money to build.
Mm.
Or because you have to buy each home in that neighborhood. It's a very expensive neighborhood. And yeah, and then build on top of that. So.
I remember like driving to was it Central Catholic, and like the bus hit one of the cars, and then like scraped like the curb, and like
Yep.
it was really bad. It was so bad because like there's no room over there.
No, there's
How do you
no
find
room for
parking over
you
there?
You park on the street or by the cemetery.
That is sad.
Yeah.
That is really sad.
Yeah.
Now I know we've kind of talking a little negative though, but like what were like the pros of like Central Catholic? Like what were the good things about it? The things that you will remember?
The teachers. Teachers are 100% great. Shout out to Miss Wall. I don't know. She's not gonna see this. I don't care. Very, very, very awesome teachers. Amazing teachers that I will think of every day until until I die, honestly. They're the reason I am the way I am. So if you don't like me, that's not my fault.
It's the teacher's fault.
It's not my fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they like? Okay, I guess you wouldn't know because you didn't go to public school. But like,
Okay.
I've heard that like compared to like public teachers, that they're like, they have a little bit more free will.
They do. Like, they can talk about more topics because they're not government funded, I guess. They can, and it's less constrictive because they don't get audited as much as, or at least not all of them get audited as much as some public school teachers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were like the cons though?
The cons.
I know you said some, but like what were your personal cons about it?
The cons is a lot of politics within the student body, especially for student council and things like that. Like, if you run for student council, you're not going to be elected for your ideas or anything. You're going to be elected if people in middle school knew you. So if you went to a middle school that you're the only one from, you're not going to be in student council ever, because people tend to elect people who've been in student council, like sophomore year.
So you kind of need like that popularity.
You need that popularity, and that's how our student body president got it. Like, she went to a big Catholic middle school, and then a Catholic high school where a lot of her fellow students went to.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and that's how she got elected freshman year. And then we elected her sophomore year because she was, the cycle kind of continues.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Were you in student council? Were you in student council?
No, I was not. I thought about it so many times, but I knew I wouldn't get elected because people didn't tend to like me. And I went to a small school, so people didn't know me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Out of the 4 years of like in high school, what year would you say is like kind of like your peak, I guess, or like
My
your
peak?
or like your best year?
My best year, senior year. Best year.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because all the other 3 years, you tend to learn everything. You learn how to deal with your peers and with teachers and politics and athletics and time management. But then senior year, you get to manifest that and actually use what you learned.
Mm-hmm.
Senior year, I did a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have most other years.
Like what?
Like run for Rose Festival Princess. Did you win? No, I
Oh.
lost because this other girl was more popular.
Whack.
And also her mom was a part of the student. No, not the student. Her mom was a part of the auction council. She was the chairman for the auction, which is, we have 2 fundraisers a year, and that's one of them. And so she works with Portland Rose Committee, I guess, in somehow. So at some capacity, I think her mom influenced some of the voting that judges did.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised. That's
And
stupid
so-
though.
But many people told me that I was Central Catholic's Rose Princess, including the former principal and the new principal, which is pretty nice.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
No, okay, whatever though.
There was a
Whatever.
going away party for her, and people like brought stuff and like, it's her last day, she's leaving, and so
Wow.
people cried when I left, but it's okay. I'm not bitter. It's fine. It's whatever.
Wow. Okay. How's like the whole so in the last podcast when I was with Nick and Maddie, I
Yeah.
kind of asked them the same question, but what was your kind of like experience with like the whole high school transition to college and like the whole process, like trying to apply and like, get these scholarships, and now trying to like stress on like packing and like trying to figure out like who's gonna be your roommate for the next 2 to 4 years?
Yeah. Applying was definitely part of the most stressful parts of my life. Like, even though it was in my senior year, just applying. I was taking 4 AP classes, and I did a sport, and I did the the fall play, or I was trying to, and I don't think I ended up doing it.
Oh.
And I was applying for that, which is a full-time job, and I was working, and all this stuff, and it was very stressful. But once you get it done, it's so nice knowing that you're done, and that it's all left up to everybody else's hands but your own. known, I guess, that you put in that 100% effort, and that it's just going to be God or people or parents who are going to bring whatever you need to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to bring you the best option. They're going to bring you the best grants and scholarships and schools and wherever you need to go, you will end up going. Even if it takes like a year and you transfer, you'll get there. It's all part of the process. But it's good knowing that you put in 100% of your effort once you're done.
Okay. If you could go back and like change something about that whole that process, what would you go back?
Do it early. Do it in the summer. Do it in the fall. Don't do it in the winter. Don't do it the night before. I did that. It is so much more stressful. If you can do as much front loading as possible, like do as much that you can in the, like fill out your Common App in the summer. It's so nice. Then you just write essays for September and October. Then November and December, when you have to turn it in, you're already done. You just have to press submit. That's all. It's so nice.
I should probably do that then.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really good.
I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so besides Seattle University, what other schools were you looking at?
I was looking at University of Washington, University of Oregon, PSU, which is Portland State University.
Go Vikings.
And there's the University of San Francisco and Boston College. Yes.
So why, out of all of them, you picked Seattle?
They said yes.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about how you were gonna go to Boston though.
I really wanted to go to Boston. I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the school. It was so gorgeous, and they had a chocolate cafe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so nice, so nice. And like it was a synthesis of both of my old schools. So my middle school, they were the Eagles. The colors were like dark red and gold, which were my high school colors. I was like, oh, it's just like that. But they said no. I'm not the best student, but yeah, it's okay.
What was your GPA?
Off the record. Redacted. Yeah.
I mean,
will you blur this out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
It was a 3.61.
That's not even that bad.
It's not bad, but they are like Ivy League adjacent schools. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you have to remember, she did go to a private school for high school, so
And
like it is way harder.
I took a lot of AP and honors classes that I was like okay at, but if I took regular ones, then I would have been at like a 4 point whatever. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, probably our AP classes are not as hard as yours, obviously. So I guess there's that.
Yeah.
You excited though?
Yes.
When are you leaving?
September 20th.
Ooh.
Hit me up before then. Yeah. I'll probably be busy working, but Fridays. Hit me up Fridays.
It is Friday. You already figured out everything. Like you figured out like who your roommate is.
Yeah, my roommate picked me, which is really nice.
Wow.
Because I didn't know how to do that. I was just kind of going through their like housing portal and just typing like, "Hey, girl, you seem cool. Want to be roommates?" Like I just didn't know how to do it, and we're in like small groups for like the orientation, and I met the nicest girl ever, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to be roommates on like the second day?" And I was like, "Yeah," and that makes it easier. Someone picking me, you know. I wouldn't want to like have, yeah. I wouldn't know how to do it, so it's nice.
That's good. Is she also? I'm assuming she's also a freshman.
Yeah, she's also a freshman. She's from Seattle, and her
Oh.
parents work in the concert industry, and so she gets good deals on tickets and stuff like that. She knows the good places too.
Benefits. I like that.
We're friends with benefits.
Okay.
Concert benefits.
Concert benefits. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know on that. I hope you guys also learned something new, maybe something helpful about college stuff. Especially me. I learned that. I need to get on that.
Yeah.
Now I guess we'll get into the fun stuff.
The fun
fun stuff.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's
Now,
what I'm looking for.
I don't know. She is really smart and stuff, so it's like it's really hard to impress her with these questions because she knows how to answer most. She's like a Wikipedia basically.
I'm faking it until I'm making it.
Now I just have a lot of random questions. There's no gonna be like specific theme. So you watch Vogue, right? Obviously, yeah, we talked about that. All right, first question. Does age really matter in a relationship?
I learned this from Parks and Rec. If it's half your age plus 7, they're young enough, and if it's double your age minus 7, then they're old enough. But that end gap, it's kind of there's a gray area there. Like, how old are you?
6.
You're 6.
17.
Okay, so you're 17. Half your age is?
It's like,
8 and a half. 8
yeah.
and a half.
Gosh, I didn't know I was gonna do math questions here.
8 and a half plus 7 is 15 and a half. So if you date someone 14, that'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
But if they're 15, almost 16, it's not as weird.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're 17 and say, let's see if I can do that, 34. Okay, minus 7 is
7.
27. If they're older than 27, that's also weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So like, what would be like your max?
My max? Well,
Cause like, okay, I know a lot of people, and also there's a lot of YouTubers in general. Like, yeah, I don't know if you guys know him, D-Trix. He just got married, but he's 33 and his wife is 23. So there's a 10-year gap.
Yeah. That happens in a lot of marriages, 10 years, but...
Yeah. So some people, they think it's weird. Some other people, they think it's just love, and they don't really care about the age. What do you think?
Depends on how old I am, because I'm 18 next week, and so if I dated someone 50, that would be weird to me, just because of the age gap. But if I'm
huge age gap.
Yeah, but if I'm 50 and dating someone 40, I don't think that's as weird, because you're like, oh, you're both middle aged. So depends on what age group you fall in. As long as it's within one age group, like middle aged and old, or older, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, it's whatever. But like teenager and young adult, people are like, okay, like as long as it's legal, people aren't gonna talk a lot about it. Or young adult and like adult age, like the 20s and the 30s. If someone's like 27 and the other guy's 37, people aren't gonna look at it weird because you're both consenting adults. All that. So,
yeah.
As long as you're 24 and up, I don't think it's weird, depending on the gap. But if you're under 24, it can be seen as weird.
So if someone got married, one was 20, the other one was 23, that'd be weird.
20 and 23, because like it's within 3 years. But if it's like 20 and 40, that might be a little off.
That's just testy.
It's just a little testy. It's a little testy. You're like 20 and 50, then it's like, you're 20 and 95. You're like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Okay, but what about this? Like, in the end of the day, what matters the most is if you love them.
Yeah.
So like, let's just say one was 18, the other one was 21. But what if they truly loved each other, and like they had so much in common, like they're basically just meant to be? Do they really have to wait until like when the youngest one is 23 to not have it be, or 24 to not have it be weird?
No, like if you, within like that whole double your age plus 7, then you're chilling. But if you're like, if you're 18 and 21, that's within 3 years. I don't think that is much of a difference. Like, you overlapped in school a lot. You overlapped in age groups. You are in the same age group. So I don't think that it's weird.
Okay.
18 and 21.
Okay, that makes sense. So you would, if you met the love of your life, but he was like, let's just say he was like 30 and you're like 20, you would.
I mean,
Okay, 24.
24. If I was 24, yeah, if I was 24, probably.
Okay, but what about this? What if? Cause I know that there's like some couples where like sometimes the reason why they get together is because like they both look young. But like, what if the person was like 2 years older than you, but like looks like really old compared to you? Would you like? Some people sometimes, if they look way too old to you, even though they're like only actually like 2 years older than you, they would say probably no. So.
Well, if I really liked their personality and really genuinely cared for them, then I don't think how they looked would be that much of a factor in why I'm with them. I think there would be several other things on why I'm with them, and not how old they look.
What are like you're like the things that they need. So
Need.
obviously a good personality.
Yes, good personality. Enjoys watching movies. I'm such a movie watcher. This girl in high school would always ask me, like, do you watch a lot of movies? Do you watch a lot of TV? And I always say no, but I do. I watch so much TV and even commentary on movies. You know how boring you have to be to make commentary about a movie that's commentary on something else? Yeah. It's a lot. I watch a lot of TV. So that would be it. Aspirational. They want to do something with their life. They don't want to just. So the watching TV and being aspirational are kind of conflicting because one's seen as lazy, one's seen as productive. But
I feel like you need like a little taste of both, though.
yeah.
You can't always be lazy, but at the same time, you can't always be aspiring. You know.
Yeah.
You just get tired of both.
Exactly. Patient, because I need a lot of patience in my life because I am kind of cursed.
We're trying to keep it as PG as possible, and also I haven't figured out how to blur, so.
You can just cut the scene.
I could cut the scene. It's a lot of work, though.
Oh, I guess so. You're gonna have to cut this.
Okay.
Cause I'm a dummy.
Thank you.
And so I need a lot of patience. Honesty's always good. Always like honesty. Honestly, politics. I don't think I'd be able to deal with someone with different politics. Like, I can deal with them. I don't think I'd want to be in a heavy relationship with them because it's important in my life enough to make it that as a.
So, what's like the limit? So like, okay, what if they were like, what if the person that you were like with, they just didn't really care about politics? They're just like okay with like they favor one side, but like in the end of the day, they're just like
they don't care. Then that's fine. But if you are like actively choosing and agreeing and upholding something that I cannot fathom. I cannot even understand why you'd want to do that. So I don't think I would be able to be in a relationship with somebody who just at their core values did not appreciate or value things that are on the top of my list.
Okay, so you need someone who has the same views.
Same views, same values, yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Like qualities. They have to be interesting. Or at least make boring things interesting. Which is a talent. It's a talent, making boring things interesting. Because then just creatively you can bounce off another person, you know, like just talking wise, and it doesn't get boring if you can make boring things interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I do these, so work on socializing and actually fix that.
No. So yeah, like every time you talk to them, there's just something new that they came up with, or new that they saw, or like had in their life. That's interesting. Like it keeps you not on your toes, but it keeps you engaged. It keeps you active.
Okay. We're gonna take a quick break because it's kind of dark, so I'm gonna change the camera. Hi. And we're back. We just had to change the camera. I should probably start doing podcasts at my house just to keep it consistent. But anyways, back to like the whole like dating things. Now, you said a couple of red flags. What are some like other like major red flags in a guy?
Ooh.
Or whoever. I'm not assuming.
Major red flags, I would say, jail. If you've been to jail, I would say I would be cautious that you would not go back for reasons that you would, like if you went to jail for murder, I would be a little hesitant. But like people change, that's why you go to jail, you have to change. And like I want to be a defense lawyer, so I'll probably keep you out, but yeah, use like money use. Like if you use money, of my money, or you constantly asking people for money, or if you can't support yourself, then how are we supposed to support each other?
Okay.
You know, but that's just more of an adult thing. Like later on in life, like if you're in high school, then like you're not supporting yourself, your parents are supporting you.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So red flags, snapbacks.
So you can't be a douche.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you're wearing a snapback and like you cut the arms off your t-shirt, I would be
Like
hesitant.
showing off like the whole like nipple thing.
Yeah. Not to call anybody out, but you know who you are. I want to date you. If you're incapacitated at any, like whether you're drunk or you're high or just super sleepy or you took medicine, and they're trying to try stuff with you, and that's a red flag. That's a red flag.
I can name a couple with that.
Yeah, like I can name people too. So, and there's reasons why we don't hang out.
Makes
Reasons
sense.
why I'm not in a relationship with them. Lying. Did I say lying? Did I say manipulation? Those like I'm so good at calling out manipulation. Not that great at calling out lying. I'll trust anything and anyone. But manipulation is a lot. Like I can call you on that. Be like, no, I know what you're trying to do. Don't fuck with me. Oh, don't mess with me.
It's all good. What was it? Okay, that's a pretty good talent. You know, not everyone can kind of call that out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good skill to have. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's all in the storytelling, like how they tell it, whatever story or try to say their narrative, and you'll be like, that's a little shaky. Let me question that, and they fluster. That's how you can tell.
There you go. Okay. Well, next question. A huge thing that's like really like. I would say it's kind of a big topic. I read like a couple blogs about it. And also me and my friends talked about it a lot. But the whole situation where athletes are just getting paid so much compared to like, let's just say doctors, or saying like people who like actually like make like a huge, like, no, I'm not saying like athletes like professional
Paid,
or like they don't like give like a positive like vibe out. Like yeah, they do. Like a lot of kids nowadays, they look up to them as like role models, and like yeah, that's really good, but like do they really deserve to be paid that much?
this question, this is how I made my first friend at college. We were both in the same like building for classes and stuff, and they're like, oh, do you have any questions? And she brought up this, and she brought up also a meme reference, and I got it. That's how we're friends. And this is our first actual discussion. And college athletes shouldn't be paid, or at least they shouldn't be paid as much as they are, because they're being paid in goods and services, i.e. tuition, i.e. room and board, and books, and travel expenses, and things like that. And like, yes, they should have some compensation for their performance. However, that's mostly being in college expenses.
Mm-hmm.
But professional athletes shouldn't be paid millions and thousands of dollars because they can throw a ball, they can make a basket, they can run really fast. It should, I don't know, I think it should be based on game performance rather than the fact that they're in a game or screen time. You know, like if you're a runner and you run really fast, then you should be paid like seconds. Like there should be a ratio between seconds, milliseconds, and dollar amount. So if you run very badly that day, you know, it also keep you on your toes and keep you engaged, but it also can be bad for older athletes who are getting, but.
Well, for like runners, I guess, I think that how they do it is where they pay by placing.
Yeah.
So whatever place you get.
Yeah.
So like, that's why it's so like sometimes it gets really competitive to get first place, obviously, because you get paid the most.
Yeah, and that comes down to timing too. So.
And that like that I can accept, but like, okay, like LeBron getting paid that much.
Yeah, no, LeBron should not be paid that much for playing basketball. He could be paid for other things like philanthropy. I guess you don't get paid for philanthropy, but for the other things like outreach and like making appearances and making speeches if he can. Yeah.
I mean, okay, like it's understandable. Like, okay, LeBron, for example, although he gets paid so much, he does use it for some of a good cause.
Yeah.
And he opened up a school, and that was like really cool.
Absolutely.
But the reason why I thought I brought this argument is because there are so many athletes that waste all their money and not use it for a good cause, and it's just a waste of money.
Yeah. It is, it really is. And I'm going to bring up the women's FIFA because the women's soccer team does not get paid as much as the men, and they are better performers at playing soccer. They play soccer better, statistically at least. They've won more FIFA cups and
Something like that.
more goals than our men's soccer team, and they get paid less, which is not great. Hot take, I know. But athletes shouldn't be paid just for being famous. They should be paid for game performance, if anything. So LeBron, I don't know how great LeBron is now. He might have been amazing back then, but is he as good as he was back then as he is now?
This is where this foreshadows to another podcast idea with another friend. But
question for the audience too. Put it in the comment section below. Is LeBron as good as he was before as he is today? And if the answer is no, then should he be paid more than he was before?
And then like also like the thing is like this is funny too because like they get paid so much, and then plus the sponsorships.
Yeah, plus sponsorships.
Like I think Katie's getting paid. This is just my guess. $350 million partnering with Nike.
Yeah.
Like for like 4 years, and that is like, whoa. Do you really need that much money?
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They don't.
Needs that much money. If you paid athletes fair wages, because it's not fair that they're being paid as much. Fair wages, you could probably end up solving poverty problems. That's hard to say. Poverty problems in America, at least some of them, or at least open more facilities to take care of them, than pumping up an athlete who doesn't need that much money and doesn't know how to use that much money.
Not a lot of the athletes in sports nowadays are not the most responsible people with their money.
Yeah.
And there's always that one crazy story like, oh, this guy just bought a bunch of weed, or just like,
okay.
he just spent it all and just lost all of it.
There are people dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be using it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it's also stupid. So I'm going back to NBA because I followed a lot of the All-Star game.
Okay.
Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, he brought up an idea the way to make it more competitive, because in the past like probably 5-6 years the All-Star game has not been so competitive because people use it as a break, but it's not as exciting anymore for the fans.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're gonna put money on it.
Ooh.
As in like a bonus. So like whoever team wins, they get a bonus in their paycheck. And
Yeah.
although like that, yeah, that's smart. Still, no,
Yeah.
that's just so stupid.
That's a very capitalist way of looking at sports. Of like, oh, I want you to be better, so I'm gonna pay you money. When I don't think sports have started out to be for money. I think it was more for pleasure and stuff.
And like entertainment.
And entertainment, yes. So to put money on it is just very capitalistic, and I don't think it's healthy to put money on job performance. Like if you have a bad day at work, I don't think like you probably will be paid less. Like if you're on commission or something.
Yeah.
But basketball players aren't on commission. Like they should make it more competitive or something. But I know, there's some type of, Family Feud. I think they make money and it goes to charity.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then, but I don't think they would still play as much. I think athletes would only play for money. So.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it really is. And like, it's funny too how like some of the bench players still make more than even the president.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the president isn't that high paying of a job, I heard.
Yeah, I mean like, cause.
Like everything's taken care of for you.
So it's like there's no need to get that much money, but like, it's still sad, you know?
Yeah.
If you could change the salary, let's just take again NBA for example. So on average, people usually get paid, I think it's 50 million a year. No, it's like 25, 30 million a year. If you could change the salary, what would you change it to?
What I would have to compare it to something and make it equal or less than that. Like, depends on TV ratings and performance and excellence and all that. And I don't know what the average like doctor would make a year.
I'm gonna say 500,000.
500,000. You said 50 million. You said?
Huh?
I don't know what I forgot the beginning number.
The beginning number for athletes for the NBA is like 30 million.
30 million. I would make at least match like the doctor, you know, like or at least not a celebrity. It would match to the TV ratings, like actors, because they're basically actors. To sweat. They're actors who sweat, so I would match it to the like matching TV ratings. So if they do very well, then you're like, okay, we'll give them this much.
Alright, okay, mom called me. Love you, mom. Back to where we were.
Instagram
athletes?
I would match it to the actors of the TV rating that is equal to their rating.
Okay.
I don't know how much that is, though.
Yeah, fair amount.
Fair amount. I mean,
Yeah. Moral of the story, athletes shouldn't be paid that much.
how much do you think athletes should?
Yeah, put it in the comments below. How much should athletes get paid? I would say probably a max of $500,000 also.
Yeah?
Like, no matter what. It's just like, that's just $1 million. Like, $1 million is like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, well, next question. I think that's my friend. Best genre of music.
Best genre of music. Ooh.
Now, Morgan has like a lot of, she has a variety of tastes, I would
Yes.
assume. You listen to a fair amount of different types. So to you, what's like the best genre of music?
The best. I've been listening to mostly R&B right now. I just keep going back to it. Now trust me, I do have a Hot Girl Summer playlist that's mostly hip hop and rap and some pop and stuff. But R&B, it's always good because it's a big variety of things. So you have people like Ravina Aurora, hit her up. She's coming to Portland. Who makes super like enchanting music. I would say lots of harps and violins and very groovy, and which is nice. But then you also have people like Childish Gambino who makes songs that are super intense, and even though he has done rap, I feel like his last 2 albums have been mostly R&B and they're very rap-y.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have that big broad spectrum, and I think yeah, so like Frank Ocean, a lot of people love her, Daniel Caesar, even like Rihanna makes a lot of R&B. Like if you have to categorize it, Beyonce, some of her slower songs could be considered R&B. I mean, yeah, R&B. And it's just nice, like it can be super hypey or it can be super chill.
Yeah.
So it's best for most occasions.
Okay. I just lost my train of thought. What about it though? Like, yeah, I know you said a little bit, but like, what about R&B that makes it so good?
So good. Like I said, like the large spectrum of how like calm or exciting it can be, and the excellence of the artists in it. Like so many artists are so great at it because I want to like it. It's not as annoying as most pop music, and it's not as difficult as a skill as rapping well is. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of the both. It's not easy, but it's also takes a lot of skill, and so it's easier to be good at it than it would be for other things like classical music. Very hard skill to master to make good classical music. But you can make amateur music and it can end up being very R&B like. Also, you can mix it with a lot of different kinds of music. I know, like, what is it? Childish Gambino does a lot of things, and there's lots of like jazz music in there. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, cool, jazz music's in this. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And you can also make your own beats, and you can make beats, and you can use samples, and you can use instruments and acoustic and spoken word and all this kinds of stuff, and it's just a melting pot of all these different genres and ideas and people and experiences that it makes a great genre.
Okay. I mean, that's very I respect that argument.
Yeah.
To you, who's like the best like R&B singer or artist? I know there's a lot. Okay, I'll give it a bigger list. Top 5.
Top 5 like artists
Yeah. To you,
to me.
not to like what like World Star says or something, but
Mhm.
like to what you think.
To what I think. There was a kid in my class, and every time we had a shadow, he would ask top 5 rappers in all time. The shadows will always say like trashy people, and like people are like, he's not that great.
Yeah.
And so the class would answer like, these are people that are actually good. So I'm thinking of him. Top 5. Can I check who I'm listening to at the moment? I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Quick question: is Michael Jackson considered R&B? I saw on a list that he was on like number
He's
1.
the king of pop. But
Is he
yeah.
considered R&B though?
I wouldn't, because I don't want to devalue my genre, my favorite genre. Yeah.
He wouldn't devalue. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
my top 5 favorites are Ravina. Love her. Everyone go check her out. She's the most amazing artist, conceptualist, amazing. And Brent Fayez, also very, very great music.
Mhm.
And Summer Walker, Frank Ocean, Solange, no, Solange.
I think so.
If I say it wrong, I'm so sorry. At least I'm not saying Solange.
Yeah, that is true. That's very true. So.
Solange. Ugh. So
Solange.
sorry. FKA Twigs. How many is that? I want.
Frank Ocean, Solange. And then the one that
Ravina.
Ravina.
Summer Walker.
One more.
Green Tea Peng.
I've never heard of Green Tea. Peng.
She's so good. She's kind of like Doja Cat. Yeah, Doja Cat. Doesn't she make R&B music?
I wouldn't.
Because she's not quite a rapper, but she's somewhere between. She's a hip hop artist, I guess. Which I guess is R&B considered hip hop, because hip hop is it's a big broad, because it's like dance music, pop music, rap music,
Yeah,
trap, R&B. So Doja Cat. Yeah, Green Tea Peng. She's super cool, super chill. And I'm gonna put Bird Bennett. He does. It's rap and R&B. I'm just doing that for the views, but Bird Bennett.
You know, I'll give him a shot because I don't know, but she recommended me to ask him for music, so I'll put his Instagram somewhere. Bird Bennett. Somewhere right here. I'll edit that somewhere.
So put this on his Instagram.
Oh yeah, I'll get famous too from this. Okay, but anyway, sorry. Out of all those artists though, out of the top 5 you just said, who would make like the coldest collab ever? Cause like her and Daniel Caesar had a really good
They're
collab.
so good.
They're so.
I didn't mention this in the list, but Childish Gambino, Daniel Glover is just the most amazing human being in the world. Amazing artist. He's not quite, as he's still considered a rapper, but he makes some R&B songs. Him and Rihanna, I want to see him and Rihanna sing together. They were in a short film together, and Rihanna didn't sing. She didn't sing, and it's like a musical. It's like a musical short film. He sang, but she didn't sing with him. She was in a scene with him singing too. I want to hear them together. So I think their voices would be super cool. And he'd be able to do really cool things with her voice.
Mhm.
And they'd be able to bounce off each other with ideas. But I would like to hear Brent Fayez and Green Tea Peng make a good song together. It just take you to like another level, like 6th dimension. Willow Smith.
Oh.
That just it'd just be elevated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Now I got some stuff to do when I get home. Gotta listen to some of those people. Alright, well, next question. So obviously there's a lot of things that us men do, or I guess I really consider myself as a man, but let's just say most men do. There's a lot of things that we do that girls don't know.
Okay.
But I'm assuming there's also a lot of things that girls do that men don't know.
Okay.
Now, what are some of those things?
Like that girls do that men don't know?
Yeah. Just list some. No, so you can, if you don't want to answer it, we can always move on to the next.
Girls. Look at other girls. We're either for inspiration or like, oh, I could do that too, or oh, damn, she's good. Ooh, hot girl summer 2019, get it, girl. And I think that's where guys tend to exploit that, and they're like, ooh, lesbian, ha. And that's where a lot of lesbian discrimination comes from. But
And that'll be in another podcast.
yeah, comment down below if you don't like discrimination. Hit a like and subscribe if you don't like the discrimination.
Yes. Equality only. Positivity.
Yes. What do girls do? Girls, I don't want to talk on behalf of all girls, but I'm going to say what I do that most guys don't know. I don't. Actually, I do a lot of things. I'm very open, so. Oh, okay. A lot of girls will bleach their hair right here so you can't see it. Like where a mustache would be.
Really?
And I feel like that's a lot of things that go unnoticed on purpose.
I thought they were just always clean, right? Am I just stupid?
Or like wax a lot.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah. A lot of girls will end up like hugging themselves or something, or cuddling with themselves when they're just chilling, which I think is cute in their own way. You know, not all girls like Beyonce. I'm not one of them, but I know that's the thing that not all guys know.
Really? I don't. Okay, I can't
Yeah.
assume that. I can't assume that. No.
I can't assume anything, man.
So, that's
Girls. Well, okay, if a girl wants to have sex, like at a bar or whatever, or whenever she's going out, she will match her underwear and her bra. And so, like, if you think you're like, oh yeah, I got this great girl, whatever. No, she got you. She was planning. She knows. Yeah.
How do you know that?
What? How do I know?
Do you have experience in this?
No, but like if you knew that you were gonna get naked in front of somebody, you would match. You would match both top and bottom, just for the appearance, you know. Maybe match your nail polish, you know. So it's just a cohesive look, a good monochromatic look.
The more you know.
Yeah. So if you knew that that was gonna happen, you'd plan. You'd be ahead of yourself. But if you didn't know, or if you didn't have both matching, then maybe it took you a little bit by a little bit of a surprise that you weren't quite expecting.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Do girls fart?
Yes. Oh, loudly. The loudest farts and burps I've heard were from girls.
Damn.
Very audibly.
I feel disrespected now. I gotta step up my game then.
Yeah. Make some loud noises. A lot of times, like, if girls are wearing like a thong and they fart, you won't hear it because it would like instead of your what your fart comes what your butt sound makes is like cut in half. So instead of like the it's more
and it goes
out the side. You go, and so it doesn't make a sound.
Oh my gosh, you can get like a double kill with that.
Hmm?
You can get like a double kill with that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, I've never thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Huh. Like when guys just fart, it's just like a bomb.
Yeah.
Like
It's just out there because you make a little flap sound.
You can't really aim with it because you have underwear on. Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, guys should wear more thongs.
Alright.
Hot
Okay.
take.
Okay. Alright. Actually, going on the thong thing. Okay, I was listening to this podcast. Is it weird for guys to wear skirts? There's this guy on YouTube who's a part of this podcast. He's straight. He has a girlfriend, but he wears skirts. And it's not just like a regular like skirts from like Scotland, because like they wear kilts.
Yeah.
But like it was like a legit like pink skirt that went to his knees.
I think it is seen by society as weird because we aren't usually, because skirts are were made to cover up a woman, and so she wouldn't have the accessibility and abilities to work like a man. Like the big long skirts from like the prairie and all that, and dresses and stuff.
Yeah.
We're big and bulky, so.
Gosh, okay, I so many technical difficulties. I'm so sorry for cutting you off or my alarm. Go.
Okay, so skirts and dresses were first worn by women because it was easier at first, and then it became a tool to make them not be able to work as hard or as easier. And so it's weird to see a man in a skirt because you're like, no, that's a woman's thing. And also, it's also used to sexualize females. And so to sexualize a man in a way that you would sexualize a female is offsetting for a lot of people in society. However, I think it's healthy that a man has a confidence and has evolved since then to wear a skirt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it takes confidence in yourself and in your own masculinity. And if you, I feel like if you're a man and you think it's, oh, like he's just being gay or he doesn't know, it's because you're not confident enough in your masculinity to wear a skirt because you don't want to be sexualized, you don't want to be incapacitated. You're scared of what women will go through or have gone through. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I like
That was
that.
pretty cool.
I like that type of view.
I know Jaden Smith does it, and he's the coolest person I can think of.
He is pretty dug.
Yeah, and he pulls it off so much better than I do. When I wear long skirts, it's because I've seen Jaden Smith wear it. So.
I didn't even know he wore skirts.
Yeah, but he does it so nicely. It's so nice. Like you don't even notice it. You're not even like weirded out because you're like, that's just, bro. Plus, I feel like it's more. I feel like it'd be easier for a guy to wear a skirt because there's no like pant leg coming up. You know, so it'd just be flowier, easier. You know?
Easier for our friend down there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd think like it'd make more sense because it's looser, not like pants, like skinny jeans. A lot of guys wear skinny jeans. Like, isn't that uncomfortable? Yeah. So it's the opposite of skinny jeans. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. We are coming short on time, but I will ask you one more question.
Okay.
Which question should I ask? That's the thing. Well, because not much. Okay, I won't ask that one. I'll ask a quick one, and I'll ask you another one after this. What's your opinion on me?
My opinion on you.
Just be as honest. I just want. I'll take it.
You just bleep me out because I'm saying bad things. I'm kidding. My opinion of you is actually very high. A very high opinion of you. You are one of the most thoughtful and compassionate and patient people that I know of. I said, like, I have a lot of guy friends, but I wouldn't, want to spend a lot of time with them because after a while, like, I either feel uncomfortable, they feel uncomfortable, or I just get bored. But I don't think I can spend as much time with you and I get bored, I guess, because you're very interesting. You make things interesting. You're talkative, you're gregarious. Yeah, inspirational too.
Aww,
honestly, like,
thank you.
to go from just doing your own thing to being the life of the party, and like that is very cool, and it's an ability that is amazing so that you can turn on and off, because sometimes people like will be super talkative in a group setting and forget people who they either came with, or like their friend doesn't know anybody else, they'll forget them and just be like, oh, I'm the life of the party. But you tend to have a good balance of, I'm with this other person at this like event, and so I'm not gonna ditch them, but like you're also out there with everybody. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then I guess last but not least, what's your opinion on your quote unquote twin sister?
My quote unquote twin sister. I don't have a twin sister. We are 2 years apart, and we look very similar, except for our noses and our eyelids, and hair color. My opinion of her is, she's my best friend, honestly. Like, I get sick of people a lot very quickly. I can only spend like an hour or so with somebody. I said that you were one of those people. And she's not one of those people. We haven't spent more than 4 days apart ever, and I haven't gotten sick of her yet. We sometimes get into little quarrels, but I like when we do because we don't tend to fight like normal siblings. We tend to be more intellectual with it and more strategic.
Yeah, we're very intellectual.
And so we don't just like if you see like two like brothers fighting, they're like very physical. If you see girls fighting, they're very catty. We tend to be different. Like one time I got a fight with her. I was mad at her, and so I turned the lights on every 20 minutes whenever she was sleeping, so she'd have a bad day the next day.
Damn.
And so like, I was playing the long game. But yeah, she is one of my best friends. She is my best friend. And I can see her going far. She's so smart. Both of us combined, not even matching her. And she's so wise too for her age. And
She really is.
she gives the best advice. And even if you don't want to hear that advice or you don't agree with that advice, it makes you understand what you want to hear. And so you either go with what you want or you go with a second opinion, you know? So you're like, oh, should I wear this shirt? And you really want to wear the shirt, but she says no. Then it builds the confidence for you to say, no, I am going to wear this shirt. Or, you're right, I shouldn't wear this shirt, it's gross. And you wear something that makes you feel better and that looks better.
Okay.
She's the best person ever.
That's gonna suck then when you go to college and...
Yeah. Yeah. But she'll be fun. I'll be her. She'll be fine. She'll grow into her own. Because like, I tend to be loud and yeah. So she'll grow into her own. She'll do her own thing. She'll go out.
That's sad to think about. That she'll be okay, but you won't.
Yeah, no, I feel like I depend on her so much more than she depends on me. But...
And she is the older one. So
yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
It's very odd, but... I mean, I'm glad that you guys have that type of relationship, because not most siblings don't even have that. Most of it, sometimes they just hate them, but like, I know they're forced to love them, so they have to, but...
Yeah.
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 It's gonna be weird, like, not seeing
every day.
Yeah. Or like when you go on like service trips and like you guys are both not there, it's just her. It's gonna be really awkward.
Yeah. No, that's why I didn't go to the one in Texas, because I didn't want to go without her.
And she couldn't go because she wasn't old enough. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense though.
So.
Okay, I guess last question.
Oh, last question.
Favorite food?
My favorite food. Ice cream. Ice cream's really good.
We did just get ice cream too.
That's why. You're like, oh, we could do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, ice cream. I want ice cream. I ate ice cream last night and the day before and the day before. We have ice cream in the house and it's not great. Yeah, ice cream comes in so many different forms. Like you want a sandwich, you want it on a stick, you want it no dairy, with dairy, no sugar, with it's so cool. It's so cool. I just love it so much. Like you could drink it and you can bite it and chew it.
Yeah.
In the same bite. It's not even like ice cream sandwich and milkshake. Like if you get like an ice cream bowl, you can take a bite of it, chew it, but it'd still be a liquid. Amazing. Blows my mind. Love it.
You're literally preaching right now. Favorite flavor? There's a lot of flavor.
I really like raspberry sorbet. That's the fancy way of saying sherbet. I report sherbet. I like raspberry sherbet sorbet. Sorbet is just fancy.
Okay. Wow, this one, I'm like, surprisingly, it didn't feel that long. But we're almost at the hour mark. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. Thanks guys for staying tuned. Thank you for joining me. Yes. I appreciate it. If you guys want her back for another podcast, I know she'll be in college, but yeah, comment down below if you want her again. You know, whenever you come back, if you ever want to, we can do another one.
Yeah.
We can talk about all the other stuff that like death penalty and like abortion and stuff and like your first pet.
Oh, all those. Yeah.
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 Why not? But guys, remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment, criticism. Also, comment something nice about Morgan's outfit, because I think it's really nice today.
It's my sister's shirt. She got it for $3.50.
Wow. I was expecting like $10. That's a good deal. It looks good on you though. Thanks guys for watching and have a good day. Peace.